I'd like to introduce, this is Frank Florig, and this is his wife, Jackie. And I'm going to leave it to Frank to go ahead and share a story with all of you.
Could you move the microphone maybe closer to that? Okay. Hi, good morning. I want to take advantage of this because I don't get this too often. But if you don't know who I am, I run Special Olympics Guam. And we are in the same business as the hospital, always looking at better ways to provide our special athletes with disabilities as they are with people that are sick. So there's a parallel with what we look at. I'm here today to talk about what had happened to my son roughly about a year and a half ago, April 14th, 2021. His girlfriend found him in his bathroom in his apartment, which was probably less than a quarter mile away from GMH. And it appeared that he had the shower going, he collapsed, and she called 911. To their credit, they responded fast. I mean, everything went like clockwork. So they picked him up, took him to GMH. At the time, GMH was, they had so many patients at ER and triage. So they did an immediate CAT scan on him. At first they said he was suffering a stroke, or he may be at that threshold of having a stroke. So what they did is they told my wife and I that they had called GRMC, and because they were real busy, they were afraid that they were not going to be able to provide him the care he needed in the event he goes into a stroke. They brought him up here, and after going through different diagnostic procedures, Dr. I always chop his name up, Naomi, who's a urologist at the time, and also Dr. Shea, I believe he's a radiologist, that came and said he had suffered an aneurysm, a bleeding aneurysm, and that they needed to get him first stabilized before they can go in, and hopefully they're able to put or insert what they call coils on that bursted vein on his brain. I believe they waited about a day or so. They started draining the blood in his frontal portal, I guess that's what they call it, and they did it through drips. When he was able to actually live through that procedure, they took him in the next day, and I believe it was a 2-hour procedure. Dr. Shea came out and told us that things went as well as they hoped it would. They were able to put the coils in, and hopefully that would stop the bleed, but the next 48 hours would determine where and how it goes. My son was 35 years old. The guy he's an athlete. Pete and I know each other because our sons play football together, and he plays all these sports and stuff. So it came to a surprise. My wife and I, I'm telling you, that's got to be one of the worst things any parent can face, knowing that your child may live or die, and it's in the hands of the doctors. Well, some people say it's a miracle. I think it's less of a miracle. I think that if it weren't for the facility itself, if it weren't for these skilled physicians that that our son would be gone. He spent the whole month here, three weeks of that in ICU. And I remember the first 14 days, Dr. Shea kept telling us we gotta go in every day. And I'm not sure what the procedure was, but they were afraid he would suffer a stroke because his veins or something was showing some spasms, basal spasms. So they were going in there and they were doing something. I'm not sure what they did. The bottom line is he survived. My son, 45 days after he was discharged here, prior to this, him and I would take Sunday rides on our hardens. 45 days after being discharged here, Kim and I were out riding around. And we still do that today. My wife and I honestly feel that we wanted to get the word out, not only to residents of Guam, whether you're military, visiting, or whatever, as well as the outer islands and in our region.